Yes, sir.
What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1. On the troll.
Hello and welcome back to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that time of the night where we have to talk about what is happening in that court. And again, a good policewoman was in court. A very good one. Mudau. A very good one. I mean, we must.
Agajigi umile kulente nayaziyo. She's not shaken, swayed, or
we hope
moving from her position.
We hope that she'll be able to keep her job.
Of course she will. At the end of the day, right now, the dilemma is the cold case unit or the integrity of the police stations. The integrity of Pretoria North and Valeria and the other stations that their officers might make it to court, or the cold case unit. Which one is it? Who pays them? Are they paid by the state or are they paid by the cold case unit? So their loyalty obviously will go to whoever feeds them, whoever has made it possible for them to have jobs.
I am sure it is good to know that we have police.
So imagine if they had agreed to say, yes, we allowed Mohane and Mabena to just walk in without filling in the registers and walk out with a cell phone without filling. What do you think was going to happen?
Obviously, it was not going to reflect good to them.
Yes, nobody's going to play with their bread like that.
Not going to reflect good to them.
Yes. So it's not going to look good at all. Now there are prosecutors who are not showing up to court and stuff in other cases. It's not a good look. It's not a good thing.
I'm wondering what is going to be a development of such, because if the man that was supposed to appear for that case is saying is scared, then that
Did he
case,
say he's scared?
there are developments that are saying that didn't feel comfortable, and also apparently he was 4 hours away from where he was supposed to be, and he did mention that to the court.
Yes, on Friday he did mention that he won't be able to make it, and that judge insisted that he comes by fire, by force, knowing that he's scared, allegedly.
So then it changes the story. Perhaps we're looking at the wrong person. We don't know. We will see what will happen with that development. But I can tell you, it's not over there. It's not over.
Because even that judge was striking him off the roll today.
Striking who off the roll? Not the case.
The prosecutor, she was talking about striking him off the roll and stuff like that.
Striking the prosecutor or the case off the roll?
Or the case of the roll. And also she did speak. It's
disparring
disparring the prosecutor.
Okay. We will see. Things don't just play out the way you plan them normally. So we will see what wenzakalan. That is a Sibanyoni case that we are talking about, guys. If you didn't know, a very prominent business person, or so-called business person.
Yes.
He was supposed to sit for his case and hear how his case goes. Then the prosecutor did not show. Therefore, the case by the judge was struck off the roll.
Didn't go anywhere.
Didn't go anywhere. But being struck off the roll doesn't mean that it cannot go back. It can go back. It just means that it is not on the roll now.
Okay.
So let's see how this pan out. So the celebrations, small celebrations, it's something that is expected, but it doesn't mean that the case is gone.
Hayi ke siyobona phambili. And there's also news coming out that there will be a Senzo Meyiwa trial march
Is it tomorrow?
tomorrow. The Tshwane municipality has also released a statement. So it looks like it's an organized march. They did apply for everything accordingly, and it is organized by the Meyiwa family. Let me see if I can find that statement that they released. It's Tshwane. So they released that statement and it pretty much looks legit. So it looks like it's a march that has been properly organized. They will be all over Tshwane tomorrow. Here they say, take note, there will be a picket on Tuesday, 19th of May 2020. Take note that there will be a picket at the Union Building Triangle on Tuesday, the 19th, 2026 by Senzo Meyiwa family. And the purpose is that the Meyiwa family wants intervention from the president on Senzo Meyiwa murder case. They will gather at the Union Building Triangle from 9:30 in the morning. That's just before the court proceedings there, the High Court start. And they're expected to disperse by 1 o'clock. Tshwane Metro Police and South African Police will service officers will be deployed to monitor all affected streets. So yeah, to me this is a highlight. I have to say this because we've been long talking, we are here talking every day on a daily basis. So for me it's very refreshing to see people that are good with organize.
Very good. But I think it is a wrong place.
Why do you think it's a wrong place?
Well, you want the president to intervene? You know the answer there, Mos. They should have went to NPA offices.
Obaloi.
Yes. That's where you go. That what you are doing, we don't like it. It doesn't actually represent us as a family. What you are doing is just doing whatever that you are doing. I don't know what it is that you are doing. But they should have went to NPA because the president is going to say what you expect him to say. We cannot intervene. We cannot intervene with proceedings in the court, in that court. It doesn't, our democracy does not allow us to do that. That's what the president is going to say.
But a good way would have been valid to the NPA because
the problem is NPA.
They're the ones dragging this whole mess.
The problem is NPA.
But I guess they just want more of an impact, and why not?
And considering how this case is actually, let me just keep quiet. But honestly, we support what they are doing. But going to president. Oof.
Namara, I'm glad to see those who
what
are
the movement? No, it's
organizing.
It's already starting wrong. It's already starting wrong. Look at how the news is portraying it.
How are they portraying it?
They are not saying they are not happy about the way in which this case is being run. They are not saying that.
What are they saying?
They are not saying that they are there for that. They are emphasizing the delay. Delay. That's what they are emphasizing. That on its own, it is positioned to actually say this was a delay. It's not about the wrong prosecution. It's not about the waste of time. It's not about the delays that are made because there are wrong people on the stand. It's not about that. They're not reporting that. I saw them. The SAPC people.
Ay ene uyabona la kuzodingakala inkani kaJacinta. I'm sorry. When it comes to this, kuzodingakala the same amount of stubbornness. Because one match, I don't think will be enough, eh? It won't be enough.
No.
So kuyodingakala leyo nkani leyo to make an impact. Otherwise, I will be here as
and already you can see that the theatrical actions and acts that you might see tomorrow, where you would probably see the court delayed, maybe people saying that they're afraid and all that, the likes of Bobaloi and the high number of police in police station. I mean, in that court, you can almost imagine the delay of transporting certain people. Something is gonna give in tomorrow.
Why not go to NPA Vel? 1 o'clock is too soon to finish this match. Idingakala the whole day. Man, cut the union building, go to the NPA.
Our problem is NPA.
Go to Maloi's office. I'm playing, but I'm just saying that, you know what, I'm so frustrated, personally, with the NPA when it comes to this case. They are my biggest frustration, as well as the judiciary, for the fact that nothing is being said. It's like, this is a no-go area, this case. And I even saw with the Kabinde inquiry, while that gentleman there was speaking about how Warrant Officer Makubo's life was under threat and everything. He was explaining all of that, and they were like, So it's like a no-go area, this case. It's just become something very scary and ugly at the same time. So I'm wishing them all the best. We'll see tomorrow the developments, and we will report whatever we can report. But yeah, siyabonga for trying, I guess.
Yeah. We're glad for them to try, and we hope that the media is not gonna chop and create an impression that this is all about the time it took.
They need to fight that. I mean, I can make an example with the March and March movement. Look at how it began. The media was trying and all means to spin and twist everything that they were saying, yabo. So you need to fight for what you believe in. The media is there, yes, use them to broadcast and get the message across, but do not rely on them to present you in your best angle. They are always going to try and spin a narrative and make you look insane, but do not give up.
I hope they did organize these YouTubers like such as
that
also
would be
and
helpful.
the rest, because
Those
that
who
would
can
be
move and have motion cameras and can be able to conduct interviews on the streets and cover the whole thing as transparently as possible. They are needed very in that match. They are very, 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 very.
Those who can give the story
useful.
without changing the narrative.
Yeah, but they are needed because the media.
I mean, we if you rely on the mainstream media and not bring the news YouTubers, they will butcher it.
Yes.
I mean, they butcher the case that they sit and watch every day. They butcher
and they're paid
it
to deliberate on it, but they just deliberate crap.
So you cannot rely on them. So you need, these days, you need YouTubers to actually tell the story the way it is, because they don't analyze, they just give the footage as it is.
Yes, and they interview a couple of people there. It would be very helpful because, hey, anything can be changed in the split of a second. So, yeah.
But going to president, for me, it's another waste. if you ask me.
Sazi mna sizohlala ethembeni.
It's a waste because this case, for me, it's too big, it's too broad. The scope is unlimited as to who's who in the zoo. But yeah, it's a story for another day.
Hi guys, let's go back to business. Our usual programming. Thina ke sixoxela ngalezi zinto lezi ezenzeka kula court. Must I add that I'm very glad Mshololo is back, hey? Especially towards the end when she was dealing with the re-examination of Officer Mudau. I felt like, yeah, this is the reason how she was hell-bent on arguing the objections that were brought on by Sibanda. I'm like, yo, I missed her so much. Yeah,
but they dealt with Sibanda. The three guys.
Yes.
They dealt with him properly. And I think it has to do with the fact that they had a person who was very clear on where she stands.
Yes.
On when it comes to this case. I think I must say it, for the first time I feel like this police lady, she's also fed up of what is happening in court, other than protecting her job, because she was not just protecting her job, she was telling the truth. Obviously, we are saying protecting her job, but she was just telling the truth as it is.
Or maybe they are all tired at that particular police station of having to deal with certain things that they know that they don't have to deal with, but are somehow pressurized to be in a position to cover things that shouldn't be happening. So maybe now, but they are honestly like fed up.
Yeah, she's just, I feel like
I feel like all of them have been giving that energy.
Yeah, other police, they seem to, the three that came, I would argue that they are more on protecting their job than anything, because they feel that they were thrown under the bus. This one, though, has that aura of, I know you're lying. That's my opinion. Like she has that aura. It's like a person who follows the case and who knows what went on, and she is pissed.
Yeah.
Because I remember she even asked her, Sibanda, who was busy narrating, what is the question? And she one thing. What do you have? Then what is the question? It's like, what? Then what? Whatever that you said. Then what? What is the question exactly? Out of all the mumbling and waffling that you have done,
story time.
Yeah. What is the question? And one thing I can tell you, she understands English. She just decided to use her home language,
Yes.
Kamabom, and it helped. It helped a lot.
I think it's Sibanda Yamuzo.
Where Moses Sibanda?
Yeah, I think they speak, isn't it the same language?
Sibanda Gimunsong.
I've heard Sibanda talk to Advocate Baloy in Tonga.
In Tonga. Oh, well, he didn't use that advantage then.
And he could have. I was so ashamed when he didn't even greet her. I'm like, oh, Mkaya Lord, I can't do that.
What Mkaya now? Ngoba abanye bathi abamazi nomsuku ezimbabwe.
Oh. Okay, I reserve my comment. I withdraw. But yeah, he was rude. He was so unnecessarily rude. Naye. So the energy that he was giving, Mudau was pushing it back.
Giving it back nicely.
It's not going to work, the strategy of his. Not everyone wants to be approached like that. In fact, everyone doesn't want to be approached like that.
Bullied around.
Yeah. It's not nice. It doesn't sit well with people. I don't understand what did he do is cross-examination 101. There are actually rules to a cross-examination, and he's breaking them like it's nothing. It's so strange. Well, Sibanda resumed cross-examination of Warrant Officer Masangu on behalf of the state. Warrant Officer Masangu confirmed that he was on duty on the 16th of June 2020 in Pretoria North as a church office commander. His responsibilities, or the responsibilities of the church office commander, he said you must check if the members are opening the docket. You can change the charges. If a member comes across as a difficult member of the public, they come to you and ask you to assist the members with that. The responsibilities do not extend to checking the cells. Masangu said that it's the responsibility of the relief commander. If they came across any problem, then they report it to the relief commander. The relief commander for the night was Captain Masangu, Warrant Officer Masilela, and Sergeant Matatanya. They were the ones that were responsible for the cells during the 16th of June 2020. Sibanda asked him to remind the court what an SAP register is, and Masangu said an SAP 14 register is where if the suspect is brought in, you must put in the SAP 14. He said yes after Sibanda asked him if he's ever been posted in the cells before. These were questions that I feel were a repetition, but sizothini usibanda ngendlela esebenza ngayo. And then he said, can you enlighten the court what happens when you are booking an inmate in a cell or a suspect in a cells? And Masangu said that when the suspect comes in, you take all the property of the suspect, starting from the shoelaces, the waist belt, the cell phone. He must switch it off, the medication, and then you put on the SAP-22 prisoner's property. Even the medication, you take it there, you know. And then he also confirmed that the investigating officers are not allowed to keep keys to the cells. Bomukhani. They're not allowed to do that. And then Sibanda said, can the investigators allocate the cell to a detainee? And Masangu said, if the investigator wants to have a suspect in a cell, he must book him out, and then he must sign for the suspect, and the cell manager will go to take him out, or to take out the suspect. The man didn't answer the question, in my opinion, and Sibanda also left it without pursuing a direct answer. And I'm like, okay, either way, I mean, it's not like they have anything. Yeah, well, I'm not mad about it. Sibanda then handed him accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi's SAP 14 register for the Kwanongoma case 16310 of 2018. You know what? This is very interesting, the fact that they keep bringing this Nongoma case. You know? Mm-hmm. I mean, Ntanzi didn't appear. It didn't appear for this Nongoma matter. 24 hours passed, he still didn't. Was it 48 hours, the limit that you're supposed to stand before a magistrate after being charged or arrested? 48 hours came and gone, and still they didn't take him to Nongoma, and they appointed themselves as investigators of a closed case. Okay? And it just vanished into thin air. And to think that it's the initial case that they claim they got him with. Mm-hmm. And it just vanished into thin air like that.
And it doesn't matter, obviously, in that court.
No, it doesn't. Why should it? Why should it, when he doesn't even believe that they were assaulted? Sibanda then said, oh yes, he was even quizzing the officer about the SAP, what it means, you know, that the case is Nongoma. What does that mean? He's asking Warrant Officer Masangu that, and Masangu said that it means that it was opened and investigated in Nongoma. And it rang a bell to me that there's no such. It was actually never investigated by this particular investigating team. In Nongoma, it was not opened in Nongoma, but it's a Nongoma case. So if it wasn't for them using this Nongoma case, they would literally have nothing on Ntanzi. Ntanzi wouldn't be in jail. So that Nongoma case, the defense also has to highlight it, in my opinion. What do you think?
For what? Highlight it for
to
what?
bring it to the surface that this is the case that they claim they got him with. That's the first time they arrested him. They are denying that they arrested him for Senzo's case. But when you look at this case, aina next pertaining to Ntanzi.
They will definitely they tried to bring it home. They tried. This judge does not believe anything.
Whatever. But the more I think about this, I become so like...
This judge does not believe anything that comes from the defense.
This is
Only
crazy.
The truth is what comes from the states. That's the only truth.
Hi man, this is disturbing. Yo, hi, Gek. Well, Sibanda said, according to the register, is there any property that was booked? Well, Masangu said no. According to the register, there's nothing that was booked. Masangu also said that for column 8.4, there's an exhibit that they booked in the CSC. They must put SAP 13 in column 8.4. It's empty next to Bongani Ntanzi's name. That means that there was no exhibit that was booked in his name. So on that column there at the SAP 14 register, it shows that Bongani Ntanzi had no property that was booked in. That includes a cell phone. You should not even a belt, not even keys, nothing. So on column 9, he said, is where if you have a representative, a lawyer coming to visit, then you are booking the serial number from the visiting registers. Column 10 is where next of kin comes to visit. Time of visit, there's a register.
Someone is saying Mdau is vendor, but she was speaking Tsonga there, wasn't?
Yeah, I had a friend who was Mudau, but she was Tsonga growing up. So I always, because of her, I know that Mudau is Tsonga. Shonisan Mudau. Oh, my friend.
No, I think the surname might be originating from vendor, but I don't know, like it happens that you find a Swati who's
having similar names like Ndlovu.
Yes.
Yeah, it happens. Maybe it's a double surname that used in multiple tribes. It does happen, like Ndlovu. Ndlovu is used in 2 tribes, isiZulu and Tsonga, I think. Well, column 12.1 is where the suspect is being charged, and the suspect was charged on the 19th of June 2020. So for this Nongoma case, he was not even charged on the 16th. Looks like he was charged on the 19th. That's 3 days later. 3 days later. Sibanda then said, from what we've placed on record so far, is there any reference to Foslora's case 63610 of 2014? And Masangu said no. Accused number 2 told this court that when he was at Pretoria North, he was informed by Sergeant Mohani that he's being charged for the Senzo Meyiwa murder case, meaning that Foslora's case 63610 of 2014, and he asked him to confirm if there was such a charge. Masangu said he can't confirm it because when they are investigating, they took out the suspect and charged them. Not there. He's not charging him alone. And the investigator is the one that comes and tells them, can you charge my suspect to the book? He's being charged, and he said he does according to what the investigating officer tells him to do. And then Sibanda said, what documentation do you require for you to complete the register? And Masangu said, there's no documents I require because you must know that the suspect, and I charged him on an investigating name. So he asked him also, and where do you get the SAP serial number, SAP-14 serial number? Masangu said, I get it from the book. If investigating officers come with the serial number from another station, then I take out that serial number at Pretoria North. Then Sibanda said, you at some stage after you have entered the details there, check if the information is correct against the SAP-14A documents. And then Masangu said the only thing that we can check is the serial number, just because the arresting suspect is the one that they must inform the suspect and give him the notice of rights and sign. The only cell manager, he just took it and writes the serial number. So Sibanda went now to the SAP-10, which is the occurrence book. He said that he saw the hourly visits, and the people that were responsible for hourly visits were Warrant Officer Masilela and Warrant Officer Masangu. And Masangu said, yes, I see my name on the OB, but on that time I can say it's an error just because I was busy in the CSC. Remember, from last week, he's been saying that he was not doing the cell rounds. He doesn't understand how his name got there. In fact, his name is written there by Warrant Officer Masilela's handwriting. Sibanda then asked, was the captain Masangu also inspecting cells on that day? Masangu said, yes, she's a relief commander. If everything, a relief commander must go and search the cells and do the entry. And Sibanda asked, can you place the first cell visit after the suspect was detained at Pretoria North? Masangu said, yes, I see Masilela and my name again. Sibanda said, but do you see the cell visits persist up until the change of shifts? And Masangu said, yes, my lord, I see. That is why I testify that on the night I have never ever visited the cells, because on the CSC also there is an inspection that I must do. Sibanda then asked him, and he also said the person who was assisting Warrant Officer Masilela is Sergeant Matatanya. Is his name mentioned anywhere in the OB book? And Masangu said, no, my lord, I wonder why. He wonders why. Matatanya was apparently the one assisting Warrant Officer Masilela, and somehow his name, according to Warrant Officer Masangu, it's not there. Sibanda then said, as the CSC commander, do you go through the SAP-10 register? Masangu said, no, it's the relief commander's duty. And then
don't you think this thing was filled later by the same guy?
I think so.
Who wrote this guy? Who was the name of the person who wrote the other guy's name?
Warrant Officer Masilela.
Masilela. Oh, and then he had to remember from the back of his mind who was working there. He was
on that day,
and then he filled in this person.
I actually do think it was filled in later. Remember, these OB books were requested long time ago, and they took a long time before they made it to court. It was like evidence was being listened to. They needed to go through some stuff. Yabo, just to put 2 and 2 together, it was taking quite some time. And by the time they presented them, they came perfectly filled in.
Yeah, so I feel like that's what is been happening, because now they don't have an answer as to how this could happen.
And another thing I could pick up is that because of what happened in Krecha's case, this OB situation, as they're busy doing these things, they have a tendency of not filling in anything, in my opinion. They don't fill in occurrence books at police stations as they're busy fetching bontansi and everything. They always rely that they're going to fill them in later.
Yes.
When it's required and when it's necessary, because they notice that filling in OBs with Krecha's
puts
case
them in trouble.
Yes, got them to have a trial within a trial, now dismissed, and it wasn't nice when it happened. So I see the treading and the obsession with occurrence books now that makes me wonder, should they be able to get away with what they've done to Bontanzi, Bobo, Gwabini, and all these people that have come to testify about what happened to them in the presence of these police officers? One can only imagine that should they get away with this, what's going to happen next?
They will upgrade.
So that's what keeps me awake at night. Is the fact that should they get away with this one? Then Sibanda said in Pretoria North, do you also conduct the 1 hour cell visits? And Masangu said, yes, we do it. In a sales manager is their duty. They must visit the cells hourly. And Sibanda said, and who ensures that the cell visits are conducted hourly? And Masangu said it's the relief commander's duty. And Sibanda now showed him the SAP 14A, the constitutional rights of the suspect for the Kwanongoma case issued at 22:45, 16 June 2020. So this notice of rights is the first thing that they are saying they gave Ntanzi when they first captured him on the 16th of June 2020. And then they charge him on the 19th of June 2020. Someone please balance me here. What is supposed to happen first? Okay, not regarding the notice, but regarding the court appearing before a magistrate. Do you get charged before you appear before the magistrate or after? Before. But are you noticing that the 19th, from the 16th to the 19th, that's like 3 days later? And it was on a Tuesday, the 16th. So I'm just wondering, what's he? That even gives me more of a reason why they went to look for a non-existent hoodie. Another case had to be popping up, in my opinion. Well, Sibanda then said, if a suspect comes to your station with injuries, what do you do? Masangu said that the arresting officer must take the suspect for medical attention. And what are the responsibilities of the cell complex manager in that case? Masangu said if they brought the suspect in the cell, you detain him. The arresting officer is the one that must issue the notice of rights, and they must tell you the time of arrest and the reason he's arresting you. Sibanda said, when you do the cells visits, do you interact with the suspect or detained person? Masangu said no. If you can take us through the process. Masangu said if you bring back the suspect for investigation and then you ask the suspect for any injuries, any sustained problems before the investigation, the one that booked him out, and if there is a complaint against that investigating officer or an injury, then you write it down. Sibanda made Masangu read an entry in the OB stating that Mohan is the one who detained Tanzi on the 16th of June 2020 at 2100 hours. That was the time of arrest. No injuries is what was detailed there. It was made by Warrant Officer Masilela. So Warrant Officer Masilela is the one who received Ntanzi on the 16th of June 2020 according to the OB. Then he closed his cross-examination, Sibanda, stating that he had no further questions. Ramasipili was up for re-examination. During the cell inspection, he asked the warrant officer Masangu, does the officer who conducts the cell visit also the cell for prohibited items? And Masangu said no. So he literally saying that they don't go around inside the cells literally looking for anything. That's what he's saying. Well, Ramasipili said, can you confirm on the SAP 10 the entry we've just read now in Warrant Officer Masilela's writing? And is your testimony that him writing in that entry that you also conducted cell visits with him is an error, because at the time you were a CSC commander, not posted at the cells? And he said, correct. You've also testified that before a suspect is taken to the holding cell in the main complex, a main cell complex, a search will be conducted on that suspect. And Warrant Officer Masilela and Sergeant Batatanya, who were responsible at the cells to search accused number 2, Mr. Ntanzi, when he comes there, of the items that will be seized from the suspect will be suspect's personal keys to the household also be seized from the suspect. And Masilela said Masangu, my apologies, Masangu. Masilela is in the back of my mind. He said we must take it to and book it to the suspect's property. Ramasipili then asked him, and if the suspect had arrived there with his personal cell phone, what would have happened to it? And Masangu said that if the suspect has a personal cell phone, he must switch it off and book it on the SAP-22. Ramasipili gave Warrant Officer Masangu a background of how Ntanzi was arrested, stating that on the 18th of June, whilst he was still in custody, the Pretoria North SAP Ntanzi was booked out at around 8 a.m. and he was taken to Carltonville at Sibanda Still Water Mine, where he was residing for some investigations. Sibanda objected and said that these are new issues that did not come out as a result of cross-examination. Aww. Looking at him, limiting Ramasipili's cross-examination to questions that he asked. And then when it's time for him to do the same, he's like, no, the state can cross-examine whatever they want. Hey, Ramasipili said it's fine, I'll ignore that. And he said, do you know from that register whether or not a set of keys was booked into the SAPS that belonged to Mr. Ntanzi? And Masangu said, I was not working in the cell, so I don't know what is it that was done by the cell manager. And then Ramasipili said, is there any notation that a set of keys, remember those keys, were found and seized from Mr. Ntanzi and booked into the SAP-22? Masangu said, according to the SAP-14 and 10, there's no 22 that has been booked, meaning there's no property, meaning there were no. Not only were there no cell phones, there were also no keys. Why are keys important?
Because they've seen them. They claimed they took them from the pocket.
Yes. And then Ramasipili said there's no cell phone from Ntanzi that was booked into the SAP-22 according to those two registers. And Masangu said yes, according to the registers, nothing was booked. Ramasipili asked to approach accused number 2 after he raised his hand, and Ramasipili asked to return after the tea break. When he returned, he said Mr. Ntanzi had instructed him to have a look at the record before they finish up with the clarification for the witness. The judge wanted to know which record. Yeah. I felt like this was to give the state a heads up, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Okay, I was like, why do you need to know which record it is? For what good reason? Well, Ramasipili said that it is the proceedings. He was very forthcoming with the information. He said it's the lady that testified that she took DNA samples from Mr. Ntanzi while he was still at the Pretoria North Police Station. Remember, there was a Motswana woman who came that she had done the DNA testing on Ntanzi while he was at Pretoria North. The judge said that he remembers that record. Then he acted like he did not want to hear what the Ramasipili had or was asking for, in my opinion. And he continued to probe more, waiting to know what query it is. He even wanted the page number. Well, Ramasipili said, I'm not aware, my lord. It's been a long time. And then the judge said, that's the point. Yeah, I see. It's a year ago. Ramasipili said he will ask for assistance of Dr. Sibanda because he can quickly go to it. And then the judge said, please do it. Otherwise, we'll take a bit more time. Can't why would Ramasipili bengena my iPads? Like, put that record in a cloud somewhere and just look over it yourself. Mara, why? Why? Just get an iPad or something. If you don't like laptops are heavy, get that little one and go to the cloud. Put this whole transcript in the cloud and just search for what you want without asking Sibanda for anything. Well, after the short adjournment, Ramasipili said that it was the end of his re-examination with Warrant Officer Masangu. The defense counsel had no further questions as well. Well, the judge started with his clarification questions again. He said, just one clarification question from me. How many years have you spent there in Valeria, for instance? Has it happened that you were charged with having assaulted a suspect or an inmate, having an inmate that writes a letter through his attorney, a letter to the head of the prison to say that Ratam Khwatleng, please attend to Mr. So-and-so. We want to prefer charges against him because he assaulted our client. Well, Masangu said, no, my lord, I've never come across that. Well, the judge said, when we get to the cells in the morning, or when you get to the cells in the morning, have you ever been part of that group that does inspections in the cells? You start doing them. I know you do them in the afternoon and at night when you are seated or standing in the charge office, but when you start duties in the morning, are those persons like you who start their duties by getting the so-called prisoners or suspects? And Masangu said, yes, my lord, when we start the duties, then the leave commander must organize the people to go and search in the cells. He said, the judge, it has never happened that persons are brought in your presence to come and conduct searches. Masangu said, yes, my lord, we do search when the person comes across. The judge then said, have you ever had an occasion where a suspect in the morning says, yes, you know what, I was assaulted by the police who are investigating my case, but I was afraid to report them because they were there. In the morning, they are not there. I want to say to you that Ratam Khwatleng, who's investigating officer in my case, assaulted me. I want to lay a charge.
When do we call corruption when we see one in South Africa? When do we call it? I'm just asking for someone also, because these days I think we have more corrupt people that are not supposed to be corrupt according to the law. Yeah, that's all I can say too. Like, I understand the questioning, sometimes. So I have to also put it just for my clarification. Yeah, when do we call corruption? But it's a story for another day. We are seeing. I'm thinking loud, man. I'm thinking about things that are happening in courts these days. Strange things.
Then the judge said, yeah, fine, but it has never happened. Masangu said, not on my side, never. Well, the judge said, you know why I'm asking this? It does not concern you and the evidence which was led. We have heard in this court some persons who are involved in this case adducing evidence that, you know what, we were assaulted. There's a case where persons were assaulted. In one instance, a person said about 16 times they were kicked and assaulted. Who said they were kicked and assaulted 16 times?
I don't know.
He even distorts evidence.
I don't know.
Water poured on us, etc., etc., and those prisoners or persons gave their evidence thereafter, got to be incarcerated either in Valeria or Pretoria or wherever. And then me sitting here, I expect is here the evidence to say that there were accused persons who were in this trial who made a complaint and laid charges. Nothing. It's not like even if they laid those charges, you were gonna believe them.
No.
It doesn't mean that you were gonna be.
He was gonna rely on the fact that if the charges were investigated and they were not found to be,
that's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted.
That never happens, and these guys were half killed. Like I'm telling you, there's a case where there's a person who said they were kicked, throttled, etc., etc., and there are no complaints.
So if he's pushing them so that can happen. That's why
investigation can be conducted.
Yes, and then clears, and then
too late now. He can do whatever he wants. It's too late. Like, honestly, it's too late. Like, he can do whatever he wants. If he chooses not to believe them, then that's his choice. It's a free country. It would have been he made a choice not to. He
relies heavily on things like that. Those things that are saying, oh, we cannot find evidence that is. What did they say there? What did they say? Didn't they say there's no evidence? That's what he wants to rely on.
These people are kidnapped.
This thing of saying that they were abused, it's not sitting well with him.
They were abused.
So in a sense, he wants these people to act and say, okay, we are filing that, and then he just wants to, because that is obviously is gonna make his case simpler, because there's nothing that you're gonna find at this point in time.
Thanks. Number one, he's not gonna believe them, even if they file those charges and
he wants them to be dismissed. Obvious. That's what I'm saying.
And then also, under the circumstances that they were in, why is there an expectation that they would trust the very same people who abducted them? Why? Why is there an expectation that they would report to another police officer when police officers came into your house in the middle of the night and just took you to across towns and provinces? How?
We don't know. Maybe the Zulu German Shepherd can tell you, but we really don't know.
Well, he said also no complaints. Is there anything which maybe I don't know happening at your police station? Masangu said so far, no, I didn't come across that. Protect your police station when I'm Masangu. Well, the next witness was Sergeant Mudau, the highlight for all of us. She's currently based at Valeria Police Station in Pretoria. She has been stationed there for 16 years. She's a sergeant. Her role, she's a charge office manager, CSC commander. Her career history in the SAPS is that she joined in 2009. On the 12th of January 2009, she did her training in Philippi Training Academy. She was posted at Valeria Police Station. She was a student from 2009 until 2010 at Valeria. From there on, she was a constable in 2010 up until 2019 when she was promoted to be a sergeant. Ramasipili handed her an SAP 15, which is a duty roster for members who are working on shift, reflected in the SAP 15, and he asked, were you on duty on the 7th of February 2021? Mdau said, yes, I was on duty. Ramasipili also handed her SAP 10, which is the occurrence book, and asked, can you identify what time you clocked on duty on the 7th of February 2021? Mudau said that it was 5:45 a.m., 5:45. And her shift ended at 6 p.m. Ramasipili then said, on that day, were you working as CSC commander? And Mdau said yes. She also conducted cell visits during her shift on that day. Well, Ramasipili stated the reason why he called her to be a witness and basically went through the history and summary of Ntanzi, how he was arrested and what happened to the phone they claim was found in Valeria and all of that. And Mdau said he never saw them. Never saw that phone. Ramasipili said if a phone was seized from the cells, from a suspect in the holding cells, what is the procedure that must be adopted by the persons finding that cell phone and the procedure to be followed before the person leaves Valeria SAPS? Mudau said the process is, since there were allegations that there was a cell phone inside the cells, the particular official should have taken that cell phone to the charge office. At the charge office, he must ask for the register. It's called SAP 13. If he or she must register that particular item or cell phone in the register called SAP 13. From the SAP 13, it will also occur in the SAP 10 book. Then after that, they will be able to book out again from SAP 13 register, since it was said that it was going for downloading. It was going to be booked out again on SAP 10 register to indicate that the cell phone is being taken away from our station. Ramasipili said, you've outlined the procedure when a cell phone is seized from a suspect who is in custody in the cells, as a CSC commander and also as a member that sometimes participates in cell visits, have you personally encountered a practical situation where a suspect was found in the cells with a phone? And Mudau said, no, I never encountered such. Ramasipili said, now, ma'am, I need to be fair to you. That's why we called you, because you were working the morning to afternoon shift. In his testimony, Sergeant Mohani did not testify at what time of the day he attended upon Valeria for this purpose of retrieving cell phones from Mr. Ntanzi. And furthermore, he does not name the 2 officers from Valeria that accompanied him. Sergeant Mabena to the cells. So the question I'm asking you as a last question in our shift from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., did this incident of Sergeant Mohani and Mabena occur where they attended upon Valeria, they were escorted to the cells, they retrieved the cell phone from Mr. Ntanzi? Did that occur during your shift? Mdau said it did not occur. So Mdau was working during the day on the 7th of February, the day that they alleged that they went and took the phone. So she's saying that did not happen in her shift. Ramasipili gave her time to go through the OB of the 7th of February 2020, from the time that she knocked on all the way to the time that she knocked off, if there's an entry of a cell phone being retrieved from the cells for Mr. Ntanzi by Mabena and Mohani. That's when the judge came in and he stated, the state evidence here states that the cell phone was not recorded. It's common cause. Now, Kanshi testifies to what happened during that time. She says she never saw Mabena and Mamfundisi. You know, he's not listening.
No.
He's not listening because I don't understand. Mamfundisi came. How is he unable to link that Mamfundisi has nothing to do with the detainment of accused number 2? It's been 4 years. How come is he not able to recall this properly? All the time he does this. I don't know whether he does it on purpose or what. So he said he won't tell the court what happened. And what also this, you are kumbula when the accused are giving their evidence. And I always say that he's not listening to them. This is proof that he's not listening.
No, it's not. Obvious.
He only listened. He looks for, in my opinion, loopholes for the state. That's what he's looking for when he's listening. He's not listening for full context. He's looking for something. And whatever he's looking for is nothing to do with exonerating or seeing the bigger picture that these people actually might not have killed Senzo. He's not interested in that. So Ramasipili said Mabena and Mohan, and then the judge said, in fact, she says she never saw them. Any other thing is speculation. Okay? Ramasipili said, in fact, that's all we wanted to cover, my lord, because there's another shift that came from after theirs. The defense had no questions. Ramasipili wrapped up his examination in chief of this particular witness. It was very brief. It was very short. It was nice and sweet. But then I was worried because I even noted it here that I don't think there's a question. The question that's more important that I needed at the time to hear. But then Sibanda asked it. Sibanda asked it. I wanted him to find out if she's one of the police officers who accompanied Mohani and Mabena, just to put that question there. But then Sibanda did it, so does it matter? Sibanda's first question to Sergeant Mudau, he said, how is the charge office positioned in relation to the entrance in the police station? Mudau said the entrance door is facing the charge office. I would say a minute you entered the main door, you're at the charge office. What is the purpose of asking about the position of the door?
Blindsided. Wanted to say that they probably came in and came out without them seeing.
Oh, without her seeing and noticing. Then Sibanda said, where are the cells situated? Mudau said they are behind How do I gain access to the cells? You must come to the charge office, then you'll be shown the way to the cells, is what Mdau says. Then Sibanda said, let's say there's a patrol vehicle with the suspect. Do they go via the charge office as well? And Mudau said, with how we work, that's how we work. One member will come through the charge office door. The driver will go around the loading zone. One member would come to the charge office to collect books or register. Then the other member would go to the loading zone. Sibanda then said, so if the vehicle drives around into the cells without one member alighting the vehicle, Mdau said, my lord, that is how it's done. That a member must come to the charge office. And then Sibanda said, but there is that possibility that a vehicle can park at the charge office and go to the loading zone. Mdau said, no, it's not possible. The gate to access the cells is controlled at the charge office. What kind of gate is it?
Kills the theory of blindsiding.
Because they would need to get to that where there's the remote.
That's what I'm saying. She just didn't come there to... I think there's something in her that doesn't like what is happening.
And then Sibanda said, but there is that possibility that a vehicle can park at the charge office and go to the loading zone. Mdau said, no, it's not possible. The gate to access the cell is controlled at the charge office. What kind of gate is it? Mdau said it's being used or controlled by a remote, and that remote is kept at the charge office. Sibanda said, who is responsible for operating that remote? Mudau said, any person who's stationed or working at the charge office can open the gate. So do you have any independent recollection of what transpired on the 7th of February 2021? Mudau said, no. Sibanda said, is it common cause before the court that there is no entry onto the SAP 13 register?
the fact that she could be the one who would have opened that gate. He's now trying to say you probably don't have information regarding that, so someone else might have it.
Well, Mdau said, correct, there's nothing recorded. Numalo objected and said, I think the question is misleading the witness because there's no production of the SAP 13 register. So the state cannot ask the question in the manner that it is asking. Sibanda said, okay, SAP 10, the occurrence book. Numalo got up. Ati, I have not received response. Hey, Baba. I have not received response from the state. I was talking about the SAP 13. Now the state is running away and refers to the witness to SAP 10.
Yeah.
And Sibanda said, can I elect not to respond, my lord, and proceed with the witness? What the hell is going on? Can I elect not to respond? It's like we are in kindergarten. Well, the judge said, what's the answer? Sibanda said, can I elect not to respond? The judge said, elect not to respond. Then Sibanda ignored even the judge. He continued with the witness. I have found that too funny. These tantrums of his are hilarious. He said, okay, in terms of that SAP 10 there, Mudau said in the SAP 10, there's nothing that indicates that there was something that was booked in my shift. Then Sibanda said, is that what informs you that there was no cell phone that was recovered on the 7th of February 2021? And Mudau said, yes. And Sibanda said, then your colleague Sergeant Mohani testified in this court that he recovered a cell phone from the suspect, accused number 2, but he did not enter that into the SAP 13 register. Ngumalo objected, stating that there's no evidence from Sergeant Mohani that after he recovered the cell phone, he entered it into the SAP register. Sibanda then said, and then according to Sergeant Mohani, the phone was sealed in a forensic bag and the following day it was forwarded to Middelburg for downloading. Mudau said, I know nothing regarding that. And Shtebi, I know nothing regarding that. Ngangifaki mina. I don't know about forensic bags and being put in. Hey, lost me 8. Mnisi said, Mnisi objected and said, I'm not sure whether the state is accurate in what it has to put to the witness. Here, that Sergeant Mohani never made an entry in the SAP 13 regarding the item that he discovered. I don't know whether the state is assuming by nature of the fact that Mr. Mohani never even mentioned SAP 13 in his evidence, then that would mean that he did not make an entry of such. Because my recollection is that he never mentioned the SAP 13 in his testimony. He just said, according to SAPS, and after being accompanied by 2 members, we asked Ntanzi where the cell phone was, and then he showed us, and then we put it in the evidence bag where it was sealed in his presence. He doesn't talk about the SAP 13. Sibanda said, I'm talking about the state when the phone arrived in Middelburg. It was entered into the SAP 13 at Middelburg on the 8th of February 2021. Then how come he wasn't that specific to the witness? Hey, Mara Sibanda. Why wasn't he specific? He's talking about SAP 13 and being so vague. He should have stated of Middelburg. The SAP 13 of Middelburg, Yabo. Then Nisi said, I thought this question was directed to this witness. Anyway, this witness should not have been at Middelburg unless the state inquires from this witness whether she knows that the item was booked in the SAP 13 at Middelburg. I thought we were still at Valeria. Now we're flip-flopping. Well, the judge said apparently we long left Valeria. We are still, we long left Valeria. We're in Middelburg now.
Let's press the like button.
Yo, Sibanda. Did you not have a good day today? Oh my God. Yes. Well, Sibanda said, I was briefly just trying to give the witness a little bit of background. Are you aware that a cell phone was sent to Middelburg for downloading? Mudau said, no, I don't know. I didn't even know that a cell phone was recovered. Then Sibanda said, and you can confirm that you did not partake in the cell visit with Sergeant Mohani and Sergeant Mabena. This is the question that I was looking for. And Mudau said, yes, I confirm. Once this question was answered, I was done. Then Sibanda said, how busy was the cell phone station on the 7th of February 2021? Ramasipil objected and said that's a vague question to the witness. How busy was the police station with what? And Sibanda ignored Ramasipil's objection, and the judge was quiet as usual, and he went to the witness. Ma'am, do you understand the question? Sibanda Mudau then said, I do understand, but I cannot remember how busy it was because days are different. It's been a long time, I can't remember. Then Sibanda, took this and switched it, and he said, since it was a long time since it happened, why do you have a recollection that Mabena and Mohani were not at the police station on the 7th of February 2021? Mudau said, regarding the issue that we are discussing here before the court, I'm saying that I did not see them or they did not come because that cell phone was supposed to have been booked at the SAP 13 and SAP 10. So Sibanda said, what kind of an entry should you have made during their visit? And Mudau said, since they have informed the court that they have been to the cell and they went to the cells to search, that cell phone should have been brought to the charge office and entered into the registers and given an SAP 13 number. So before the long adjournment, the judge asked him if he was still continuing with the witness, Sibanda, and then he said yes. You have got to admire the spirit. You've got to admire. Yeah, but I have no further question. Kanda, I was still gonna endure another 50 minutes. Well, after the long adjournment, Sibanda said, can you tell the court who was posted in the cells on the 7th of February 2021? Mudau said, according to SAP 15, there was none who was posted in the cells. And then Sibanda said, so what was the arrangement regarding the cells? And Mudau said any person who was at the charge office was able to go and assist in the cells. Sibanda then asked him, did you assist on the 7th of February 2021? Mudau said, yes, I did. And did it mean that you had to move from the front to the back of the cells? Mudau said, yes, that's how we work every day. Did it happen throughout the day? She said yes. Did that not distract your monitoring and exiting the station? She said no, it did not. Sibanda then said, so but when you are at the back in the cells, you cannot account who was in the front at the charge office. Mdau said, yes, that is true, but we only visit the cells hourly and not myself only all the time. Then Sibanda told the witness to go through the book and take that time and tell them how many times she can count where she visited the cells. And Mudau said it was 8 times, which is equivalent to every hour since she knocked in, 6 to 6. So she said it's 8 times. So then Sibanda said, so are you still maintaining that you were able to monitor who was entering and exiting the police station on the date? Mdau said yes. And Mdau forgot to mention that it was actually COVID. So they did definitely manage. I mean, in my opinion. Well, Sibanda was now, I don't know if this was to the state's detriment or advantage, but to me it felt like he was now attempting to say that the state did not do their job properly. So is that to their benefit or not?
Not.
And then Sibanda said, even if you visited the back of the cells 8 times in the date in question, Mudau said, I would inform the court that we don't take time at the cells. Then Sibanda said, would you agree with me that to also go past the charge office in a vehicle does not take time? Mudau said, yes. Baloyi then whispered there, and then Sibanda came and said, for one to gain access into the cells, who's responsible for opening the cells? Mudau said that a member at the charge office, Nisi, asked for a point that he had missed while he was collecting his notes about the time that it takes into driving into the cells. He was actually asking Sibanda, to clarify that question. And then Sibanda said that he can clarify that during re-examination. They're asking him to I've never seen such. It's I don't know, it's below the belt. Well, Sibanda said, ma'am, to pass through to the cells, does it take a minute or a few seconds when you're walking? Mdau said it could take 1 or 2 minutes. Nisi then got up and said, it was odd when he asked Sibanda to clarify his question. Then he said he will do it in re-examination. The question came from what Sibanda said and not the witness. So the witness does not have questions, is what Nisi was saying, that a witness cannot ask questions from the stand. I'm asking you for your question and to seeking clarity, and you are telling me I will address it. Then Nisi said that it was odd, when he asked him that question, and he was he didn't say he was rude, but he was rude in my opinion. Well, Sibanda said that the witness understood the question and responded. And then he continued to ask the witness, how long does it take to pass through CSC to the cells with a car, a vehicle? Mdau said it depends what time or how long it took to open the gate. Then Sibanda said, when you were stationed at the charge office, did you take meal breaks? Do you eat? And Mudau said, we do take breaks and we do eat, but we still remain there at the charge office. Then Sibanda said, for how long? Mudau said, we don't have time. It depends on what time. Did you start eating and how long do you eat? But you must consider your colleagues because they must also get time to eat. So it looks like it's some form of an arrangement that they have. They don't really go outside to waste an hour. That's not how they operate according to Mudau. But finally chance. Then Sibanda went to Pinky Faintilengem's evidence now. What did you think? Yasin, this witness Ukenakai Moditabing Zadi Tower and cell phone data in Pinky Faintilengem from Vodacom's Ungena kanjani?
That was a sign of failure.
That's when
all else has failed,
lento.
You start asking such questions.
Hey. And then he also mentioned holes. And then he said that the Queenswood Tower is 220 meters away from Valeria Police Station. And from Pinky's evidence, it shows that the phone at most times would connect to Queenswood Tower. Sometimes they'd connect to Palmer Flats and Murahut Flats. I don't remember Murahut Flats as being part of evidence, but Sizotini, we move. He said, can you confirm that from the 2nd of July to the 1st of March 2021, the days Bongani Tanzi was booked out, can you confirm that he was staying at Valeria Police Station? Mudau said yes, and Sibanda said, so you are able to account with regard to his whereabouts day and night when he's in the cells. Okay, when he's in the cells. Mdau said correct. Sibanda asked if she can account on the whereabouts of Mohani and Mabena on any other given day. This question took me out as well.
As a PhD candidate.
Is she Mohani and Mabena's bodyguard? This question took me out. I was like, oh, what? This cannot be happening. Mudau said no. Then Sibanda said, before this court indicates that this phone would connect to the Queenswood Tower, do you then realize that this phone was within the Valeria SAPS camp? Ramasipil objected, stating that these are unfair questions. This is not a technical witness who specializes in cell phone and telephone towers. Because there was even a moment where she was saying, what tower? What is that? Asking the interpreter. Even she was like, what tower? What tower? Tower yaing. And then Sibanda said the state wants to refute her evidence that no cell phone was found on accused number 2 on the 7th of February 2021. Then Ramasipili said, from the evidence of Ms. Faintelingam, the tower does not pinpoint the exact location. It shows the vicinity within the radius of where the device might be. We must be accurate not to mislead the witness, and the court has always said that to us. Don't mislead the witness, give the witness a proper background. And this couples with my earlier objection. This is not, an expert. If Advocate Sibanda wants to rebut, these are argumentative questions that he wants to put through when he says he wants to rebut. These are argumentative questions. Numalo said that even when he raised the same issues with Colonel Talker about the mutual destructive versions between the 205 and the cell phone, which does not appear in the SAP-22, Advocate Sibanda objected with the same objection that I'll be inviting the witness to speculate. Similarly, he's also inviting the witness to speculate also. Mnisi also said that Ms. Van Tillengem never said that there was a cell phone in the, in the possession of Mr. Ntanzi. She never said that. It's unfair to place that before the witness, and also it's a gross misrepresentation of testimony of Ms. Van Tillengem. Oh, Dokotela Bagit. Hi. Dokotela. Sibanda said that he will ask the questions differently. And then Sibanda said between Sergeant Mabena and Mokhane and accused number 2, between those two parties, who can you account for day and night within... Okay, let me read the question so that you guys don't miss. Between Sergeant Mabena and Mokhane and accused number 2, and he said between the two groups. Between those two parties, who can you account for day and night within the vicinity of Queenswood? Mudau said, I cannot account for a person who's around Queenswood because I'm stationed at Valeria. Thank you, Marona. Thank you.
Let's press the like button, guys, please.
Queenswood. So Sibanda said, we are referring to the tower, the cell phone tower, ma'am. And then Ramasipili said, we do not have Mokhane and Mabena's cell phone records to see the towers they were pinned at. So this question again is unfair to this witness. Nisi said that the witness also needed to understand what towers are and all the background of Miss Pinky Fine Tilengem's evidence. The judge asked Sibanda to leave that for argument, and then Sibanda moved on. He said, is it still your testimony that you are not aware that a cell phone was found on the 7th of February 2021? And Mudau said, yes, I cannot say the phone was found. If anything was found, it should have went through to the channels of the booking process. Well, Ramasipili and Ngumalo had no further questions for this witness, but Mshololo got up and had clarification questions. She asked, do you have any proof according to that register that the cell phone that was registered by Sergeant Mokhane and Middleburg SAP-13 is the same cell phone that was recorded at Valeria on the 7th of February 2021? Sibanda said it's argumentative and it now defeats the version of accused that the Samsung J5 belongs to him that was downloaded by Warrant Officer Ndlovu.
How is that?
Angaznam. How does it defeat that purpose? Kanjan, I understand the objection ya Sibanda, because it's almost like he's trying to stop Mshalolo from poking a hole in the state's case. Yes, it goes. If they get this, but then the sergeant does a thing, knows nothing about this cell phone. So how will that affect?
Ask the question again.
Mshololo asked, do you have any proof that according to the register that the cell phone that was registered by Sergeant Mokhane at Middleburg SAP-13 is the same cell phone that was recorded at Valeria on the 7th of February?
Mshololo is asking what does not exist versus what exists.
Yes.
Now, how does it defeat the purpose? Because Mshololo is simple saying, do you have any proof that the cell phone that was taken there, if it was recorded properly and sealed properly, the seal break will be there and everything will be there.
Yes.
Therefore, the
serial
sealback
number.
would and the serial number would correlate with what was given there, which is not the case. You've got a blank page versus what is written on the other side.
The middle back.
There is no, in submitting that, there is no way Mshololo is saying that that is not accused number two's phone. No. He's simple saying, if there is a phone that was taken on the cell,
Yes.
do you have evidence that this is the same cell phone that was given for downloading? Now, for the life of me and for the understanding of the learned colleague, can he educate us where that objection is actually coming from, to say that it's more like saying that accused number 4's phone is denied by accused number 2's phone is denied by accused number 2? The phone, it's common cause that the phone belongs to Ntanzi.
Yes.
There is no dispute in that.
There's no dispute.
What is in dispute is whether it was in his hand while he was in the police station of Vereli. Simple as that. So if you claim that you took a phone from Verelia and you took it to where it was downloaded, what I'm sure is simple asking is that, do you have evidence that that phone that they claim they took, and you probably could have seen because you were working there, is it the same one than the one? Or you could have just taken it from your pocket, as Ntanzi is saying, and you took it for downloading.
Yes.
So the objection was just nonsense.
Well, Mshololo said, I disagree, my lord. It's the clarification question from the question that arose during cross-examination by the state regarding the cell phone that was registered at Middleburg, whether the witness does have the records that it was the same cell phone that was recovered at Valeria according to the books that he has testified. Well, the judge said it will give you problems. I'm telling you why. There's arguments amongst you that the cell phone was downloaded, and if it was downloaded, me being stupid as I am, it means that there will be photographs, which somebody will say, this is Rata. This photograph was taken on the 7th of December 1967 when the phone was lost. Maybe before or after. Do you get what I'm going to? And Mshololo said yes, and the judge said, thank you, leave it there unless you want to continue. Mshololo said, I'm waiting for the answer from the witness.
Where was he going to?
He wanted Mshololo to leave that question, to
but
abandon it.
With that submission that he made,
I don't know, it sounded like...
Again, it sounds like he's taking on this objection,
yes,
that the phone that Sibanda made, that the phone does not belong to, based on the question. So he's talking about the pictures and whatnot. Pictures of proving that this is Ntanzi's phone. I thought that was common cause.
And maybe he's highlighting this because remember Ntanzi is saying that some pictures were not in his phone. They got downloaded in there. Some of the pictures. Remember Ntanzi saying that. So it's almost like he's also headed in that direction to cover that leakage.
No, he's trying to say that if you deny the phone, there could be pictures that prove that this is your phone, in my thinking. I mean, honestly speaking, no one denied the phone.
No, the phone is not in dispute whether it belongs to Ntanzi or not. So I don't know. Well, Mshololo said, I was waiting for the answer from the witness. And the judge said, no, I'm not asking the witness the question. Yours
Again,
is fine.
bamboozled and just lost. The man is lost. He's lost. He's not in that court, in my opinion. He's just lost. Even when Mshololo is giving such follow-up statements, he still thinks that they are talking about whatever that is playing in his head. He's lost.
Present.
His absent mind.
And I even saw the body position of how he was sitting. It cracked me up. Every time Mdau would say, no, I don't know, no. But hey, that's a topic for another day. Well, then Mshololo said that she was waiting for the witness, and Mudau said, I don't have any evidence regarding my books. No cell phone was booked, and Mshololo asked to approach accused number 5. She came back with questions from accused number 5, and Mshololo asked, is it possible for an inmate to stay in possession of a cell phone for a period of 2nd July 2020 to the 7th of February 2021? Sibanda objected, saying that counsel is now asking the witness to speculate. Mshololo said it's not a speculation because the witness is a police officer at the station. So what I'm asking from this witness is that, is there a possibility for
How
an
long did you
inmate
stay in that police station?
from the 2nd of July to the March, I think, 2021.
So he stayed for long on the station?
Yeah, Valeria, he stayed for long there. And then Sibanda said, counsel is now asking the witness to speculate. Mshololo said it's not a speculation because the witness is a police officer at the station. So what I'm asking from this witness is that, is there possibility for an inmate to stay inside the cells for this long, having a cell phone in his possession? From her experience, Mdau said it's impossible. While the judge went in again with his clarity-seeking questions, he said sometimes a person views the TV, and then there are police officers like yourselves who work for the Department of Correctional Services. By the way, she doesn't work for the Department of Correctional Services. She works for SAPS. She works at the cells of the police station, not at correctional services. They have conducted a raid. Then chief of the prison comes out and makes a statement to say this was unpublicized search, which we wanted and record these items, contraband, cell phones, and illegal substances. They then confiscate those things and charge me for being in possession of contraband. Mdau said, I've heard about that. So what I'm saying, the judge is saying, is people smuggle things, contraband, into the cell phone. So now he's trying to accuse Ntanzi of having smuggled in a cell phone. Angazi uzosichazela kabanzi kwi-judgment yakhe ukuthi kanjani, since he's so clued up.
The level of foolishness that has been paraded sometimes in public spaces such as this, where you expect learned people to reason like learned people. The comparison of such, where a prisoner is expected to have visitors, more so with submissions that were made by Ntanzi, that at some point he was not known where he was. No. And you make such submissions. Again, let us say we take the theory without visitors other than the police. Let's say we take the theory. We say, okay, Ntanzi might have concealed the phone, put it inside his bad whatever
Blankets.
that you... No, before he was arrested.
Okay.
That would mean that Ntanzi was expecting to be arrested that day.
Yes.
That would mean that.
It would.
For him to put it where they normally put it, these prisoners.
Oh, but that actually is a group assignment, is it not? Most of the time. You cannot do that all on your own.
Exactly. Because in prison, when they take you in, they make you squat and do all those things.
And cough.
So for you to submit such a thing, you ought to have thought, what are the circumstances in which this person was arrested? This person was not aware that he's going to get arrested.
No.
And you are submitting that people are able to smuggle
contraband.
things.
So he's already affiliating him with a gang. He's doing all those things that the Bogininda were doing while they were arresting him, affiliating him with gangs, because it takes a lot to smuggle izinto in a cell or in a prison cell. It takes a lot. That thing is a system. It means you move with something. Either you are moving with money or you're moving with your people. It's not something that just happens. It's
For
currency.
me, if I'm a judge, one thing is clear right now is that cell phone was never in that cell.
No, it's not possible.
Ramusipile has actually proven beyond, which is not supposed to do.
Yes.
He has proven that cell phone
was not there.
Through the police that are trusted by the beloved smart judge, they've come and denounced that they have seen a phone like that.
Yes.
Ramusipire has also proven that there was omitting of things that were supposed to be done when it comes to the occurrence book. So for me as a judge already, I'm looking at the occurrence book with a side eye. For me as a judge, I am also thinking now that if occurrence book were not used to reporting things that were supposed to report, such as belt and everything that Ntanzi could have came with, how could they have reported that Ntanzi was actually assaulted? So as a reasonable judge, that's me thinking that already whatever that I accepted on an interim basis for the interest of justice is not to be trusted in terms of the occurrence book, because I could have accepted it based on me waiting for more evidence, as he said. And it seems as if that evidence is not forthcoming. Occurrence books are lost. They are nowhere to be found, and we are told that the state took them out. Already, the state looks guilty in terms of concealing information from me as a judge. So how am I going to find these people guilty with half clashes that they are giving me? That's me as a judge.
Yeah.
But I guess we're different, man. We think different. For now, let's press that like button. Let's mash that like button. Let's see where it leaves us before we bow out. Press the like button. Yeah, Emily, you are done. Yes. And yo, 11:30. 11:30. I'm gonna take one call. Zanzi, hello. Hello.
Hello. Hey, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
And hello to Emily.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
Directly to Anonymous. You had promised to come back on Saturday. I know why you didn't. The Bagania didn't do.
The Baganias, yes.
I came back on Sunday, though.
I'm on the other side of the river, but we love you guys.
From who loves us? We must know who loves us. It must be clear. Oh, that team of okay. No, I get you. We know you don't love us. It's like us watching Arsenal right now. We don't love them. No, we are obviously it was just postponed. The celebration was postponed. It's fine.
I understand.
we avoided the stampede.
I'm actually astonished by the judge. All of a sudden, he understands that kungenzeka amaphoyisa enza iphutha. But all along he never believed ukuthi amaphoyisa kungenzeka ukuthi asotha abantu enza izinto ezirong. Usethi namuhla no kungenzeka ukuthi isigebengu simakula phone to inside the cells. And by the way, the cells we're talking about here, some of us Saksaband at a police station. It's more difficult there. Because our adopted system was to understand it. It's a matter of hours. That's when you start mastering how it can possibly happen. But lo muntu lona futhi kuye ebeloke believe ukuthi or at least asitshela ukuthi no amaphoyisa awayenzi into engcolile. Sekunguye futhi manje futhi usevuma ukuthi kungenzeka ukuthi isigebengu singene nayo. Just because ukufike lo sisi Mdau, I respect that woman. She stood and argued. Well, in a subtle way. But this is what we have. Angazi ukuthi ngiyingenele much kusasa. Ngeke ngiyingenele physical but by spirit. Siyabonga bafethu. Umsebenzi wenu muhle. Ngiyanqanya guys.
Thank you. Siyabonga.
Sharp ngiyabonga nami.
Sibonga kakhulu. Khosi. You know, we gave them just a bit of excitement. So, hey, I was watching us as we were busy talking here. It's not good, man. It's not good when teams that are not used to winning cups are winning cups. You know, there are tears that are very interesting to see. But njengamanje sithi nje hayi so ithatha le kwi development yethu i-Orbit College la sizothatha khona i-cup yethu and basisembombela ke Emily. You know, these kids of ours, they said we are not going to play in a small pitch. I'm sure kubuya ngabo ngabayilethe la arena ngabo bayibusele arena manje ke basibeke embombela. Hayi ngizoya nganza kwethu embombela ngizoya siyothatha le cup le celebrate sonke thatha le cup le kube mnandi kube nje hawu ijoy ezoba ikhona ngiyakutshela wena so bese sibuye arena yethu kodwa vele phela nayo le lokhuzana le what do you call it what do you call that Mbombela Stadium? It's our own mini arena ayi bafethu asiniyekeni ke ngeke ni understand le language esikhuluma language yebhakabhaka yeah kumnandi nje kudelile siya enjoy bafethu. Press the like button before siphume. Sengiyaphuma mina email. Sibonge nje kakhulu ukuthi nibe khona Mpumelelo Dlamini membership lindiwe Mandla uMandla Mathibela siyabonga Sizwe siyabonga Ndanganeni enda siyabonga abo Prince Malope siyabonga Sihamitsi sibonge nje kinonke bafowethu nasingababizanga Thembekile siyabonga nabangena eqaleni Mawutwane Africa Jabadi our member siyabonga sithi Uli Boshomane thank you kakhulu Ndanzi le asibonge nje lapho ubonisiwe Mgogodlo sibonge futhi Raul Mtrobele. It's been a while since I pronounced that name. Thanks. It's good to see that you are still here. Kelebohile, our moderator, awusiyabonga. Kelebohile kakhulu. Ubani lona. Deni, right? Siyabonga. Mampo Ramezi. Sibonge lapho, sibongise kakhulu ngesikhathi sakho. Sizwe lo ukuthi uthini madoda. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, hi, Mr. Arnett, Emily.
Hi.
Good, how are you guys?
Right kakhulu singezwa kuwe. How are you?
Are you aware that the phone was recorded in SAP 13 in Mpumalanga? Are you aware? And this DB. And this DB is the popular name, Mr. Arnett. I'm just joking. I don't know anything.
I almost answered you.
And this DB.
Yeah.
What was asking this lady about the recording of the phone in Mpumalanga when she worked at the area?
Because she must agree that the phone was actually found there at the police station.
No, that's what I'm saying. This guy, they took us for granted, really. I mean, Mr. Arnett, there is no argument that the phone was downloaded and it went to Mpumalanga. No argument. The argument is how it got there. How was it recovered? That is the argument.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And now you're asking the lady that are you aware it was pinging a tower in Queenswood? Mate, a phone can ping any tower, provided that is the available tower that is taking reception.
Yes.
It does not mean it was in Queenswood.
Yes.
It does not mean. Yes. So it's just wishful thinking of the judge and their state. I know those guys, they used to think something about dance, but now some police have come and crushed their case, I want to hear whoever used to believe their story, what are they going to say now?
They believe those ones. Some of them, they pretend as if this is their job.
Mr. Arno,
yes.
If you think positive, not positive, if you think straight, I arrest you for non-Goma case, but the following day you're confessing about Senzo Meyiwa case. Kanjan.
Yeah, Angiti, do you know in KZN we have got this herb that is called spahluga, umuti. When we move with it, maybe when we are advancing amantombazaneni, intombazane izogcina iphahluka ithi ngiyakuthanda. Yayizwa leyo nto le. Maybe that's
just rock up.
Out of nowhere. Bashanga siphahluka bayaphahluka uvela umuntu aphahluke nje
I get you. I feel you. Yeah, but I'm happy with the progress that has been made from last week. This week, I am happy.
It's good
you
progress.
Can see we are making good progress.
Yes.
Yeah. And me, Mr. Arno, I don't listen to Baloy and Sibanda cross-examination. I don't listen to those guys because I know they will never cross-examine you on the issue. They will never.
They're not.
They will never. Like now. Like now. Instead of fighting, instead of fighting to say we want to show you there was a phone recovered, they start talking about something else.
Yes.
To deflect.
Yes.
They never. They'll start asking you about how busy was the charge office. It doesn't matter whether it's busy or it's not busy. If you recover a phone, it must be recorded. It doesn't matter how busy it is. Shoot and tell you. Even if it's pegged like that hospital where Senzo died, like FNB, the phone must be recorded in the book.
Yes.
Still. Yeah, that is a fact. So instead of running around, that's why I don't listen to those guys. I know that they will never. I've never listened to a cross-examination where they bring something that makes sense. Never. They just talk. Are you aware of this? Are you nothing tangible?
They attack your credibility.
So Yeah, but you cannot be attacking credibility of everyone. You can't be attacking. In Tanzi, I understand they wanted to attack his credibility, but in Tanzi, off the ground. Can you please attack evidence, not the credibility? Attack evidence, man. Is it that OB entry that made that grew legs? I cannot believe that the state doesn't make an effort to call Root to come and explain where the book was. It's an important book. Someone will say, oh, it's not important to have an OB entry. That person is talking nonsense. It's a very important book. That is the book that actually tells you what happened in that police station. We need it. And they never make an effort to bring it so that it can be shown that. And you can actually see that they made an effort so that it disappears. Because when Tanzi is testifying, they are looking for the book, and they took the book and they made it disappear. Why? That on its own, if the judge was like that Banyoni judge, they should have just thrown this thing out and say, hey, go and start again investigating. Understand? But anyway, thanks, Mr. Ano. Thanks, Mr. Ano. I would say I wish you all the best with Pirates. I hope they don't disappoint. They disappointed me this past weekend. I'm a Sundowns fan, but I actually wanted them to win. But hey, it was tough with that Durban City. So hopefully with Orbit, you guys will go along. And then I'm a Ghana fan. It looks like we are getting there one day at a time. Yeah.
Are you sure that you wanted us to win as a Sundowns fan?
I wanted because to win the league for 8 years, man. Or now going for the 9th time. No, it doesn't reflect correctly the state of the football in South Africa. It's better if Pirates win this time. And Pirates deserve to win this time. They provided competition to that team. I'm being fair.
You are being fair.
Not
as a support.
Not as a Sundowns fan who just wants to win 10, 20. No, it doesn't. No, Pirates deserve to win. I just hope they don't mess it up. Because last weekend, hey, imagine Junior Kanyim put it so well that you guys, you bought alcohol, you bought the cake and everything, but hey, the person for the party was not there. They didn't deliver. But anyway.
I also
they would deliver.
I also hope that you don't mess it up with Crystal Palace. In fact, I do. But I do hope that you mess it up because we know that you boggle things. But yeah, it's fine. It's a story for another day. Let me answer this one.
No, I understand. I understand. I'm also a bit nervy, but we're just hoping for the best one. Yeah.
All right.
Good. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks. Zanzi, hello. Zanzi, hello.
Hi, Mr. Ano.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
I'm all right.
And Sister Emily, how are you?
I'm good.
Yes.
I'm very happy at the progress that we are making. Oh,
welcome.
congratulations.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you. I love this show.
Thank you.
So, what disturbed me today was the last comment of the judge. Because it was clear that the lady who was testifying had said there was no phone that was found there. And according to her, it's not possible that a person can be in a cell for such a long time. But then the judge, as you always say, that he's a prosecutor. He said he likes this thing of saying, I want to ask a question that is not connected to this case. When in actual fact that it is connected to the case. Then he asked the question, if it doesn't happen, akakaze kwenzeke ukuthi abantu bathole ama drugs nama phone emaseleni. And I wonder why the judge does that.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Akakaze kwenzeke yini ukuthi ama judge ethole i brown envelope?
Kuyenze.
So it's just a question. It's just a question that I had to ask because you are also asking questions.
Yes.
Yes.
I know, but it's disturbing, man. It's disturb kakhulu. Lento le ayenzayo.
I know it is very disturbing and it's demoralizing. Yeah.
No, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Mzansi, hello.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Hi.
Yeah, also my first time calling in.
Congratulations. Welcome to the Mzansi Reality family.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I was watching the proceedings for today, and I see the judge is always going back and forth with witnesses, especially about the cell phone. But we have a police officer that has came in to say Royd took the OBs.
Yes.
So it's easy. It's sort of going back and forth with the witnesses and talking about cell phones that were being smuggled in and out. Just order it, make an order as a judge and say, listen, let's get the OBs in so that we can actually see what's happening, instead of always just trying to confuse the witnesses. And I feel like also the witnesses get very scared when they talk to Rata, as if like they're obliged to, yes, because the first witnesses, Mudau, said no. And then at later point, she wanted to say, you can tell that they're very uncomfortable because the judge is asking the questions. So I think also there's an element of intimidation from the judge,
Yes.
to sway the witnesses. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
No, Siyabonga. New with new thoughts.
Yes.
Your opinion. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And we appreciate your previous caller too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, the new people. I almost left you guys. I was like, I'm going. As usual. Because you guys don't call. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello. Okay. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, was sanibonani, guys. Oh my God. Nami ngokuqala namhlanje.
So many new people. Welcome. Yes.
Yabonga. I'm a morning gang normally.
Okay,
yes, but guys, I don't have much to say.
Yeah.
I just want to ukuvomisa igama la radio. Izinto baba like ngaphansi angazi ukuthi ngitshele bani ukuthi ngiyamzonda. So namhlanje I'm just calling to say I hate Judge Rata, guys. Oh my God.
Kuyenzeka ungabathandi abantu. Kuyenzeka.
Yo, like I hope kusasa ngizofila better.
Hayi kusasa uzobubhetha kusasa.
Yo. Okay, and I love you guys. Good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah, bye. Good night.
Bye. Yeah, kuyenzeka abantu ungabathandi ungabaphiwa. Ngikholwa ukuthi nabo basiphiwe njengabantu abalandela le case. Nabo abasiphiwe. Mzansi, hello. Hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. My name is Mdau. I'm calling for the first time.
First time caller. Yes, welcome on the call side. I know you've been watching, right?
I've been watching. It's just the ungodly hours I couldn't do, which is why we have to appreciate the work you do because...
Godly hours indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it takes a lot of commitment, focus, and diligence. So feel appreciated because you are. Yo, guys, that man, hey? I have never seen someone with such slippery hands. Whoever greased those hands, yeah. graced them with proper oil money. Whoever graced those hands, they are slippery indeed.
Oil.
Yo. You know, this week alone, I've been observing how many pairs of glasses he brought. I think it's like on number 7 now. They're all new. I'm not sure what's going on, but this is where you can see that if you're on the defense side, I hope they've long started preparing their appeal. Even better than their arguments, because you cannot have week in, week out a judge, for instance, today, as the other caller said, things are closed, the evidence is closed, and he has a very sneaky choice of words. His vocabulary is very rich. Yes. He says, can I ask you, do you guys sometimes one is watching the TV, and he's dumbing himself down, by the way, and you'd see that, police and defense are actually raiding prisons. And they'll find items, this and that. I can't remember what it's called. And of course, the bull boy goes, contraband. It's like, yeah, contraband. And the lady says, no. Says, no, man, come on. You would know. A different principle applies here, because previously people would be asked if they are on the state side, do you know this or that? And then you say no. If now someone pokes more, said, but I thought you said no. Is that the law to follow someone up if they say no? He follows up and says, no, man, come on, you should have, and his face is not doing him any justice either, because the face tells us every time what Rata is thinking, and even more so, goes ahead before he says anything. And he says, yeah, of course you have, because the lady had to concede to say, yeah, okay, no, because there's that intimidation again. Says, yeah, I have. And now it's no longer they'll find the contraband in prison cells, right? He says it's not like the cells are, I can't remember what he used, something along the lines of something proof, like, bulletproof in your body. It says it's not like they are proofed with whatever to actually like make sure that doesn't happen. But we are talking about police cells here, very particular. Prison cells are something else. Yes. Police cells are right there, very accessible to the community. You hardly have to apply for a lot of things because people are still being charged.
Yes. Yes.
And I was hoping that Mshololo with her question would follow up and stand boldly and say, when there was no proof that the phone that was taken to Mpumalanga, wherever it was taken, is Mr. Ntanzi's phone. And because maybe she wasn't in court, I was hoping that someone would also stand up to say, we also don't know if the phone that was brought in court is indeed Mr. Ntanzi's phone. Unless I missed that proceeding and maybe it was admitted and then the defense considered that it's actually Ntanzi's phone. Because what bothered me with that, the other day when Ramusipili was leading the evidence and Rata says, Mr. Ramusipili, that phone was here. His attitude, his determination tells you that judgment has already been made and done. I'm not going to rewrite anything. That phone was here, using his hands and gestures. So I knew that, okay, in Rata's mind, that phone was there. I had wished that Mr. Ramusipili would have said, so, Your Lordship, I can't call Rata my Lord. Your Lordship, are you saying, according to the evidence that was read on the cell phone, you have made up your mind that is the cell phone, and thus then telling, because what else has Your Lordship made up his mind about? Is there a point to this case? Because if the phone is brought here, whatever that was brought here, the projectile, the phone, anything is a form of evidence, is what the state alleges is actually the element or the item that is responsible for ABC. You as the court, you have to wait for them to prove beyond any reasonable doubt that that phone belonged to Mr. Ntanzi. And we're now in the middle of that to present evidence to refute that. It's not. So you carry that phone. Which phone? Because we're speaking about Ntanzi's phone. You say that phone exists. It was here. Oh, so have you then now decided that Ntanzi actually had a phone? 2, it was found on him. 3, whatever was downloaded belongs to Ntanzi. Therefore, he's guilty on that part. And the question then is, what else is he guilty of according to your lordship? Seemingly as you've clearly made up your mind.
I hear your line of thinking.
But the fit he will have.
So they're getting put in the
You'll not be kicked out of that court. Though.
You'll be kicked out. What are you accusing me of?
Yeah.
Are you accusing me of?
Yeah. Because also this winking that he does, like, did you see it? I've seen it twice now. And the discomfort where he hides his mouth and his eyes are moving like you'd swear it's a cat chasing a mouse with its eyes. When he's uncomfortable, his body language, it betrays him, Shem. His body language betrays him, eh?
Yeah, it does.
Let's see what happens. I can't wait to hear Mdu's testimony. Thank you so much. Thank you for the show. We keep listening.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you. Here's the question before I move. I shut down everything. Have they told you how they found the second phone?
No. That I'm certain of. They have not told us.
But the Section 205 that has been led by the states in that court about that phone that they denied.
Yes.
Have they told you how that phone was found? Because according to them, in that cell, they found one phone.
Yes. They haven't told us how they found. There's no story there.
But there's evidence that is, according to the
Solid
states,
Section
incriminating Ntanzi.
Apparently, it was also receiving phone calls while Ntanzi was in custody.
Exactly. That phone, the chain of custody of that phone is a mystery. No OB entry has that phone.
No.
All these other OB entries. The question is, even when they downloaded it, where they downloaded it, was it ever captured there? Did they say there were 2 phones on that OB entry where they were downloading it from Pumalang, Ndlovu, or someone?
Nope.
No. Exactly. That's how we move in that court. That's how we move. But guys, it's a story for another day. Thank you guys for calling in. Thank you for pressing the like button. If you haven't, please do. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for 418 likes for today. You did yourself very good. You make sure that this channel is still there.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Siyabonga, guys. Siyabonga kakhulu. Until we see each other again tomorrow, it's a bye from us.
It's a bye-bye.